Well, okay then. Ever since Apple Pie Gal gave a tour of her garden, we thought it would be a good idea to do one as well. Thought it was a really great thing to do. So, in order to help our readers better know our garden, I'll give you a tour. We call it Spring Garden Acre because we live on Spring Road. That's Spring Road and we're very busy. We call it an acre because down there past all the kids' toys and all the junk is about an acre. It's probably much less than about an acre. There's a forest back there and most of our property's in that forest. Now this is our back door, and right next to our back door we keep what we call the spring garden. It has no northern exposure. It's the northern side of the building, so it gets the most shade, and so we try to plant things that like shade here.
She won't bite me if I have gloves.
Who won't bite you? The mole. Oh, there's a shrew. Calvin found a shrew in the sandbox that he's playing with. I think it's a shrew. This is a volunteer tomato. The best tomato plant we had all year. Okay, so let's go on. In the spring garden we have kale. You see the kale there? We have one lonely spinach plant. We have cabbage and cauliflower in the back against the wall. You can't see them, are beets. And under the kale is white radishes. Okay. Now for the next part. Here are the boys chasing a shrew. Or a little creature of some sort. What is it, Q? What is it, Q James? Huh?
I got him a little.
Oh, where? What is he?
Down there. He's right.
Oh, there he is. Oh, he's mad at you, isn't he? He wants you to leave him alone. Well, he's barking at you. You better leave him alone. He will bite you. So be careful. Okay. Here are our blackberries. Don't. What do you? What did you tell him, Quinn? Yeah, you did. Oh, there he goes again, Calvin. Watch out, Quinn. Don't you touch him. He wants you to leave him alone. You're scaring him. He's good for our garden, so don't hurt him. Don't let Sydney find him. Okay, blackberries, yes. Past the kids' swing here. A Morris plum, and its partner, another Morris plum. I have no idea why the one on the right grows so prolifically and this one doesn't. We treat them the same. This one has had tiny fruits. This one has never had any fruit. Neither one of them are actually doing anything for us. Okay, on the way down, on the right is the main garden. Compost bins with the tubes for aeration. That one is a year old. That one's about 6 months old, and that one is new. Under my feet here is another volunteer. This is what is that? I don't know. I forgot. It's a squash plant. Pumpkin. Sugar pumpkins. They're just those little hand-sized pumpkins. Now over here on the right we have our broiler chickens, Silver Cross. You can see them down there. There's lights to keep them warm, although they don't need those anymore. I think they're big enough now. And I've taken their water, or not their water, but their food away from them because they spread it all over the ground. And I'm going to have them eat it off the ground for a little while. Later tonight I'll have to move the whole entire cage to fresh grass. Here are our hens, Cracker, Cruncher, and Muncher. We hang their food so that they don't make a mess of it like the others do. And they need their water inside the cage. Bella just moved it, so that's why it's out. There you go, girls. You thirsty? They've been roaming all day long. We went for a bike ride, so we had to put them away. All right, in the main garden, we just turned the soil here. This is where the squash, you can see on the fence there, where it was hanging. See that? We had squash hanging on the fence, growing on vines. We had tomato plants. We had a trellis inside the garden that had more squash, and also you'll see an incredible harvest of sweet potatoes this coming Harvest Monday. And on Annie Granny's advice, we planted beans. Annie's granny said it's good to plant beans this time of year because they grow fast, and sure enough, we're harvesting them now. Up at the top on the right are more sweet potatoes. They need to grow longer. I don't know why the ones on the bottom were so huge and ready to be harvested, but the others aren't. And maybe it's water. We're on a hill here, so there's less water on the top than the bottom. And I planted winter rye as a cover crop today in that bare section. Now under the plastic, or in these plastic rows, in these rows covered with plastic, we have broccoli that we grew indoors. We just planted it last week. We have some cabbage that we planted a couple of weeks ago, and cauliflower. There's a pepper plant that's hanging on. It's actually giving us plenty of peppers still. And in this row we have some late planted leeks. And they're doing really well. We didn't expect to be able to harvest anything, but while Robin from the Gardener of Eden was here with us, she said they look pretty ready to harvest, so we're happy about that. We've been eating romaine, and we've saved those two miserable looking tomato plants. There's one, and oh, they're right there, both right there actually, because they give us tomatoes for our romaine salads. We have about 10 heads left. Here in front of you is asparagus and more leeks, and here's our tiny asparagus box. This was the first thing we ever did when we moved here, put this 4x4 box in, and we get asparagus from it every year. Above the garden, as you're looking up toward the house again, there we have raspberries. They're ever-bearing. We don't know how to take care of them. We're going to have to look online. Behind the raspberries, we don't know how to trim them or how to prune them. Here is our strawberry bed. It's about 25 feet long, and there are blueberry plants. They're not doing real well. We're hoping we can help them along. We've fed them, and we've tried to take care of them, and hopefully they'll be happy next year. Behind me, or beside me, are peach trees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They did terribly this year. And right here we have a new bed that we dug this year. We've grown potatoes in it. Now we have all kinds of brassicas, and we're looking forward to what will come. The bigger ones we got from a nursery in the neighborhood. The smaller ones we grew indoors, and we're looking forward to what will come. I am a little worried because I see other fall gardeners. Thomas has an incredible fall garden, and his things are much more mature than ours. And Happy Acres also has shown pictures of his fall garden, and he has an incredible variety, and his seems to be much more mature than ours too. So we're hoping the frost is late and these grow to full maturity, and we get lots and lots of food. This, what I'm showing you now, is where we keep our melons. This is a northern exposure, and they really produced quite well for us this year. Watermelon, cantaloupe, honeydew, and they're up there at the top where the boys are playing with that poor creature, is our squash plants. Only one survived. It didn't give us much either, a yellow squash plant. I think we only actually harvested one. All right, now I'm going to take you inside. This is where we bring our produce into the basement instead of the main kitchen upstairs. You guys know how messy produce is, and this helps corner the mess. We keep them in trays here. We, I'm turn the light on, hold on. We, well, I shouldn't say we now, Belinda juices, Belinda cans here. We weigh and do all of our work down here. Jane from Hard Work Homestead has a great recipe for making peach schnapps, and that's what we have here. And it's all we got from our peaches, really, was that peach schnapps. I see my battery's dying, so I better hurry along. In our basement bathroom, we're brewing wine. We have grape wine, strawberry wine, red grape, white grape. Lots of great wine brewing. The strawberry wine needs to be bottled. The grape wine's fermenting right now. Oh, sorry, Belinda, I showed the laundry there. We do have a kind of a small place for what we're doing, and we make it work. These are our plants under lights. We're growing for a cold frame that I still need to build. There's our water. And there's peach wine and apple wine and several things Belinda's bottled. This is my favorite. I want to show you. It's beautiful. It's vegetable juice. Belinda loves vegetable juice, and we can't drink the stuff from the store. It's just too salty for our taste, so she made it, and it turned out great. Good way to use tomatoes. Okay, so let me go outside and finish with the big project we did this year. I'm going to hurry and run outside. Here we go, and show you our